Hello, this is Willie with the Basement Kings. We are in Teague, Texas, where we are working on this basement with bold walls and water's leaking from all three corners of this basement. This job had multiple parts to it. This is my favorite. Getting a chance to use the carbon fiber strips, I love. The fact that we no longer have to tear out all the block, put the block back in place, regrout, is just a game changer. Being able to see the major areas where the water's coming in, chip those all the way out, fill those in with waterproof grout, and then use our carbon fiber bands that go down. You can see where we spaced them. It's usually based on distance from the corners. Then being able to put in our drains to stop the water from coming in at the cove. And after we have those drains in, we have clean out ports. We have to grind down the areas for our carbon, and usually we blast and clean it, but just so happens the way this situation was, the homeowner would have preferred it just to be done by hand. And the problem with by hand is the dust is horrendous, see? But the dust was irrelevant to them. The main thing they wanted was for the reasons that they wanted. They did not want the glass. They did not want blasting of any kind, so not a big deal at all. We'll do it by hand. Well, some may call it old school. So we did it old school. But that's what we're doing today. Today, we're doing touch-up, is because the bands, depending on the width of your carbon fiber, in this case we're using 6-inch bands, you want to make sure you give yourself an extra inch or so you have some wiggle room. The band doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but relatively straight. And if that line is too narrow and it doesn't go all the way down, then that band is going to be touching some of the old waterproofing or painting. There can't be any resins, epoxies, or sealers, or anything on top of this wall when those bands go down. You want it bonding for shear strength directly to the wall. And we use the #1 form of carbon fiber to where it's not just the bands. The bands a lot of times will go tie in the top, and then they are laid into the bottom. Others are tied into the top and they're molded to the bottom. Others are, a hole is drilled at the bottom, and then the bands are squeezed together and goes down into the hole. And others are attached to and clamped to the bottom. A lot of different versions, but the one thing very few of them have is that they recognize that the bottom layer is exposed to shear pressure. When this wall tries to shift again, you don't want to have any problems with the wall ripping at the bottom and shifting away. The bands are anywhere between 30 to 50 times stronger than the original wall. So when that wall tries to move, all of it needs to be tied down properly to hold everything together. So in order to be able to do that, the shear strength is the weakest at the bottom. Same reason that the bottom leaks more in the cove where the floor and the wall meet in your average basement. So those are the areas you have to reinforce. So what we do is we'll drill a hole in here at right around where the second or third block is, and we will put strips in there for rebar. The carbon form is much stronger than regular steel. So we'll put those in there, and then we'll fill up that bottom block with a 60 to 80 pound bag of grout, non-shrinking type of grout. And once it's in, it'll make this bottom row or bottom 2 rows up to where our hole is very, very strong. Down at the bottom now we'll have a good base, and that base will give us a good form to tie together. So when we put our strap in and we tie it from the top, and then the bottom will be bonded to that wall will not shift and it'll actually have something to grab into, not a hollow block at the bottom. So if you're not going to do it right, just don't do it at all. But as you can see, we're getting ready. So we'll show what our cleanup, we usually like cleaning up at the end of each day. But I wanted to leave this basement the way it was so you get a glance at what it looks like just one day of grinding any part of that basement. That dust will go everywhere, so everything is going to have to be washed clean, which we do. We tend to do it at the end of every day, so we spend the last 45 minutes to an hour of every day making sure that the job is cleaned up. So now that you've seen it and how horrendous it is, we just started grinding. One person, one wall, even though there's a back at the end of it, you still see how much dust will collect. All right, so now that we've done, let's get busy.
Hello, thanks for watching. If you like our video, then please subscribe or visit us at thebasementkings.net. Thank you and have an excellent day.